Hey everybody, welcome to another art chat. I've been thinking this week about some things that have bubbled up in my life, and I want to encourage you with what is encouraging me in this current season. So, years ago, I decided to take up running, and I had a goal to get to a 5K and be able to do that. And that was a daunting task, pretty overwhelming. I had never run before, I didn't know what I was doing. So I downloaded this program called Couch to 5K because I figured that would get me on the way. And how it works is it just kind of tells you, you listen to it and it tells you to run for a certain amount of time and then you walk for a certain amount of time, and it alternates through that in the course of the program. And it was a really great tool, and eventually it gets you to a point where you're running all the time and you can run a 5K, and it worked for me and it was fantastic. And what this program did that was so successful was it took the goal to run and it broke it down into little chunks. And so today I want to share with you this idea that has revolutionized my running, my fitness, but it's been a game changer for me in my art practice. And it's a concept of little and often. And it's the idea of, I couldn't run a 5K. I couldn't just walk out the door and go run when I first started. That was too much. But I could run a little bit at a time, a few minutes here. And then eventually a few minutes grew to more minutes, to where I could get through a half marathon. And that was a big deal. But it started with little bits of running that happened often. It's kind of like eating an elephant, right? You've heard that phrase, or how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. It's a really big task, right? But you just, with one bite at a time, would get the job done. And it's this idea of little and often. In my life right now, I do not have extended chunks of time to create art. I'm recovering from surgery on my foot, and so my window of being up is really small. I sit on the floor and paint. That is also a pretty small window, but I can do that throughout the day. So I have decided to take that concept, little and often, and apply it to where I am right now. I could be discouraged because I don't have the ability to sit on the floor and paint, or stand and paint like I normally do. Or I can be happy that I can do it for 20 minutes and then I can take a break and come back and do it again. And that's been my routine. I'll paint for 20 or so, go ice for 20 or so, take a break, come back and forth, little and often. And so I just want to encourage you with that idea today. Maybe you are, as an artist, struggling just with time and you don't feel like you have the extended amount of time to devote to your practice. But I bet you probably have 20 minutes, 10 minutes, and that's better than no minutes. Don't not do the thing because you don't have an hour all at one time. Take 10 minutes and do it. Get to a point where you can leave your supplies out, or put them on a tray so you can just quickly move them out of the way and go back. Do your 10 minutes at a time. If you did that 4 times a day, you have 40 minutes a day. That's an incredible start for an art practice. Maybe it's not the art practice you're trying to improve on. Maybe it's another skill. It's same concept applies. Little and often will get you to be successful. It really will. And so this is just where I am right now. I want to encourage you, and I hope that's encouraging to you, that it's okay if you don't have uninterrupted blocks of time, hours at a time or whatever. It's okay, because you probably have 15 minutes. You might have 10 minutes. You might even have an hour. Take half an hour, take a break, and go back for another half an hour later. I don't know. But little and often is a great way to approach building your skills at anything, but especially art, because I've found it's really helpful to take, 20 minutes, half an hour, and work on something, and then go away and come back. And I can look at it with fresh eyes and evaluate, wow, where do I need to go next? What needs to change? Take 20 more minutes, go away, come back. That is totally fine. And so I just want to encourage you. It's not a loss, or you're not losing if you don't have a big block of time to do the thing. You're actually going to be just fine to do it little and often, whether it's art or running or whatever your thing is. I want to encourage you with that today. In the studio, that's been it's been just running through my head off all ever since surgery, little and often, and that's okay. So share with me. I'd love to hear, what are you working on little and often? What is your thing that you're trying to improve on, that you want to carve more time for? It could be art, maybe it's something else, but share with me in the comments. I'd love to hear, and I just want to encourage you that you can do it and be successful at that, even if it's only for a few minutes a day. So I hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday. Thank you for joining me today, and we'll catch you next time.